Hi guys, Logan here with another video, and today I got something cool to show you. I have been meaning to film this for so long. Like, this has been sitting in my bedroom for weeks, and I'm finally getting around to it. I've just been so busy with life, you know? So, I have the brand new for 2025 animated Peekaboo Clown by Tekky, and I have some history with this guy. Yeah, I have a history with a brand new prop. That's like really weird to say, isn't it? So, let's talk about him. So this is by Tekky. Last year, I think, maybe the year before, I can't remember. I have like the memory span of a goldfish. I got the super duper duper rare opportunity to visit Tekky. I have a pretty good relationship with the fine folks over there, so it was a really cool opportunity to visit them. And I got a tour, and I got to, kind of see, how the sausage is made. And I was in the main warehouse, and I saw this guy. I actually ran towards him. I actually kind of got, stopped. They're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Nope. So, and I never saw the face. I just saw him in the down position. But I knew what it was. I wasn't dumb. I knew it was a Peekaboo prop. Ever since then, I had been so hyped for this. I didn't know if it was coming out. Obviously, they weren't going to tell me, oh yeah, it's releasing, or oh no, it's not releasing. Tekky's pretty good about being very vague about stuff. Right? So, I never knew the outcome of this guy. And I mean, I just kind of for the best, because it really kept me on my toes the entire time, really hoping that it would come out. And it did. When I saw him at the Lowe's managers meeting, and I got videos sent to me by an anonymous source that was there, I was super excited. I finally saw my baby. I'd been calling him that the whole time. It was just a prop that I fell in love with at first sight. Him and Ripsaw both. Because Ripsaw's another one I got to see too. I was just enthralled. And I was so happy to finally have him. And I am so super happy to have him. The face really shocked me. Let's really show off this face. It is really cool. It has that really kind of cool vintage clown look with these really fine needlepoint teeth going on here. And he's got cracks along his mouth. And I love the really long, what do you call that? Like the eye makeup and the little tiny little cheek circles. It's a really cool prop. It's so cool. His face is probably the coolest part about him. And I'm so glad it is, plastic. And not puppet mouth either. Because Tekky has been really doing the puppet mouths this year. But yeah, I was super excited to see this guy. And I am super excited to have this guy. I've loved this prop. I've had him in my room, and I still love him. But I will say that I definitely have some issues with him. For sure. And we'll really get into that, and I'll kind of talk about my cons. But let's talk about the pros first. Let's really get into the pros. The costuming is a really nice material. I don't think I felt this on a prop before. It is a canvas material that they used. And it's very sturdy. It's very heavy duty. And they tea stained it too. So it's not a perfect color. It's really cool. And I love the accent colors they went with, where instead of it being a solid color, it's this striped black and red. It's even on the legs, it's on the hat. It's a really cool costume. And the actual design of it is really cool. My dog also likes him. With the very thin legs and then the big kind of poofed out, kind of thigh area. Hey, buddy, you want to be in the video today? It's a really cool silhouette. There's the word. It's a cool silhouette. It's very reminiscent of the original Henry Hustle costume design, if anyone remembers that, from the blueprints. And then the ruffle is also really unique too. It is a 2-tier ruffle, so this is really how it's supposed to set. I altered mine. I actually stapled the ruffle onto the head, and we'll talk about why a little later. But even the ruffle is really unique too. It's got this silvery sheen to it, so it's not just plain black. Really cool. And it's got this cone hat. I stuffed mine, by the way. I used polyester because it's super lightweight. I stuffed mine because it does have some issues where it'll just fold, and you can kind of see where it still wants to right here. But I put plush stuffing in it, just so it'll keep the shape. It does a really good job on its own. It's just because they're in the box for so long, and again, this was like a canvas material. It does like crease pretty bad, and then when it has that crease, it just wants to bend. So I stuffed it. If you want to do that, I totally recommend it. Again, use something super duper lightweight, like maybe paper towels, or again, I used like polyester, like this stuff. I got it from Walmart. I buy like stuff like that in bulk all the time. The actual build of this prop is pretty solid as well. The structural integrity I think is really nice. So I have like a frog in my throat this morning. So I definitely don't see it breaking anytime soon. The only issue I have with the costuming, the shoes, it is a blister mold, so it's that very thin, flimsy plastic, which surprised me because Balloon Dog Clown has like blow molded plastic shoes. So I don't know if they just did that because this is a more budget friendly option. Let's talk about that. This guy is sitting at $150. So he is on the cheaper side of pretty much everything at Lowe's this year. I think there's some other really budget-friendly items, but this guy is very cheap. And there are some things that reflect that, right? So let's really kind of get into my cons. The legs. So I have my legs stuffed right now. I had some spare, like, animatronic arm form stuffing, like the like that foam. Without that, it doesn't hug the legs very right, and it looks really off. And there definitely should have been some foam or even some built-in paddings in the pant legs. There needs to be some padding here as well, because they do kind of get a little wonky. The ruffle is not attached to anything, which I was having issues with, because when he was resetting, sometimes the ruffle would kind of go in towards the mechanism, and it wasn't necessarily causing any issues. However, I was scared that it would cause issues. So that's why I stapled it to the head, and because of that, it also hides the pole. It is not covered by anything, which is super weird, because like Peekaboo Penny, which actually like returned this year, she has like a fabric cover. I think it has like a spine print on it that hides this, but he does not. The paint job on him is not really good at all. Tekky's been on kind of a streak with really poor quality paint jobs. And I know I'm not the only one that's noticing this. A lot of people have been complaining about it. Like with Backbend Bonnie too. Her paint job's really bad. Like the gums look terrible. The teeth are painted really sloppily. There are parts of the makeup too where it's just very sloppy and the paint's really thin. This is not because of the paint. That just happens with plastic characters. So I'm going to have to go through and repaint and touch up parts of this because it's not painted very well. The mouth bothers me the most. The teeth are painted terribly. The gums are painted terribly. I don't like that. I don't even think there should have been painted gums at all, to be honest with you. I just don't think there's enough there to warrant that. Even the hair is not painted very well. So, and that was an issue last year as well with the paint jobs. I don't know if that's just the factories really slacking on it. I don't know if maybe there was a big rush this year because I know tariffs really screwed everything up. So I'm not going to harp on Tekky too hard this year because I know this year was kind of a disaster for everyone. But want I do want it to be known that this is not the quality that I and pretty much anyone else expect from Tekky, and I do hope next year we see a bigger upgrade in the paint especially, because this year it is not looking so great. Last year it was really bad too. So I'm not gonna harp on it too hard this year because again, I know tariffs really screwed with a lot of companies and that might have caused some production issues and some production downgrades. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know every single last thing about why the detail is so weird on some props, because like Balloon Dog Clown, he looks great, but this one looks terrible. But I do definitely want to point that out. Another really big issue I have with this guy, and again, I don't know if this was Tekky or Lowe that did this. He has a light sensor. Now listen, it's 2025, right? Why are we still using light sensors on props? Like any prop. I don't care if it's a 3-foot Pan-Asian item. Why are we still using light sensors? This is a jump scare piece, right? Why would you not use an IR sensor on a jump scare piece? Like, that's kind of my question here. Wouldn't you want this to go off in the dark? That irked me. I don't like that. I don't like to see stuff like that. Again, that's not what I come to expect from a company like Tekky, who, again, I think is just towards the top of the food chain in terms of retail. I don't like that. I think that's really it in terms of my issues. Oh, the arms. Let's talk about the arms too. They are really hard to put in. They need to be posable. They need to have like a softer wire because this is such a firm material. It is really hard to get these arms in place. The material has no give, and I don't believe in cheapening the material. But I do believe that you should make the arms more posable. That also means that so people can bend the arms to hide the face better to their liking. So I think that is something to maybe reconsider if this comes out next year, to do a posable wire instead, because the wire's too stiff and it is really difficult to attach these, like when you're putting them in the sleeve. So definitely keep that in mind as well. The animation's pretty good. It's fast. This is a really fast prop. The audio is also really interesting. There is one audio track I think just sounds really awkward, and we'll talk about that once it goes through his animation cycles. But I think the voice is great. I love the kind of callback to the Jacked Up Jill background audio, the Jack in the Box music. I was super stoked when I heard that because I love like the Jacked Up Jill prop. So let's run him. He's got 2 phrases. He's super cool.
Why the long face? Here's a reason to cry. Would you like to see the greatest show of all? Feast your eyes on this. Oh, don't be scared. I'm just trying to have a little fun.
So it's that first phrase I think just feels awkward. It almost feels like they spliced two different phrases together. So I'll run that again so you can kind of hear it.
Why the long face? Here's a reason to cry.
So it's that here's the reason to cry that just sounds really awkward. I don't know, maybe that's just how the actor said it, or if again it's spliced. Like they like one half of one phrase and the latter half of the other phrase. I don't know. It just sounds really awkward to me. But other than that, he's awesome. The voice acting sounds great. I love when the voice degrades into this like twisted, demonic sounding voice. And I like the kind of high pitched, sounding voice as well. He's awesome. Like, don't let me think. Gosh, don't let me make you think that this is a bad prop, because it's not by any means. It definitely has some quality issues, but I think it's still solid. I think that you can definitely correct some of the issues I pointed out, and it's still phenomenal. For $150, this is a really good jump scare, and to see Peekaboo Penny and also another version of her come back in the same year, you definitely have some really fun jump scare options this year. So he moves really fast. Again, like really, really quick. I love, just fast moving jump scares. That is like a Tekky staple. Again, I just think little things definitely need to be addressed, because it is little things that start to amount to kind of bigger issues. But for the most part, I think he's great, and I totally recommend him if you can get him. He's currently not fully in stock. If you really want him, you're going to have to go in stores and place a special order. And that is what I had to do, because for whatever reason, the websites show that these are in stock, but they don't let you order them. I don't know why they're doing that this year. But yeah, overall, I think he's great, and I highly, highly, highly recommend him. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Gosh, my brain is jumbled today. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.